because you know what I told them folks? I said, you all can go to hell. I'm going to Texas.
What's up, all you cats and kittens in Radioland? This is Marc Fort. You are tuned in to the debut episode of the Texas Music Office's Texas Music Mixtape. On today's program, we speak with City of Austin Music and Entertainment Division Manager Erica Shamaly. We'll speak with Erica about the City of Austin's brand new Austin Music Disaster Relief Fund, which will provide $1,000 grants to musicians for their immediate emergency needs. And we'll speak with Erica about the City of Austin's Austin Creative Space Disaster Relief Program, which will, in addition, provide grants up to $50,000 to organizations and independent artists facing displacement and difficulty paying rent for their commercial creative spaces. Since we're launching this new radio program during the COVID-19 pandemic, we fully expect the content of the program to change and morph as we go along, as we learn new things and as we find our groove here in our collaboration with Co-op Radio. We'll check in with our TMO certified music-friendly communities, which are located all around the state. Currently, those communities include Fort Worth, Austin, San Antonio, Denton, Lindale, Stephenville, Conroe, San Angelo, Nacogdoches, Abilene, and most recently, McKinney. At the heart of the program will always be Texas music, and that's Texas music from Corpus to Texarkana, from El Paso to Orange. Our beautiful state is enormous and extremely diverse. We've got a lot of ground to cover, so let's get started.
Take that with you, carry it, and we're going to build on it. Let's go get them. Get her done.
Clear eyes, full hearts.
Clear eyes, full hearts. Clear eyes, full hearts.
First up on the Texas Music Office's Texas Music Mixtape is City of Austin Music and Entertainment Division Manager Erica Shamaly. Hi, Erica. Thanks for joining us on the debut Texas Music Office, Texas Music Mixtape. And we're hoping you could tell us a little bit about how City Council and your Music and Entertainment Division came up with the grant programs. And could you just tell us a little bit about the background and how it started?
Sure. Well, I just wanted to say thank you for having me and the Music and Entertainment Division from the city represented here today. We are, eager to get information out about these two programs to help Austin's most vulnerable musicians, but also our creative spaces. With the cancellation of South by Southwest, it was like a tsunami of effect, obviously, for Austin. And so City Council and Mayor, as quickly as they possibly could, because we had to transition everything to a virtual environment in order, for the council to even meet again, they quickly, put forth resolutions to assist people all over Austin, including creatives and musicians. So we have two programs. One is for called the Austin Music Disaster Relief Fund, and that is for musicians, our most vulnerable musicians, facing hardships with having enough money on hand, really, to survive past 2 months. And we are working with a third party that has done this type of work before with musicians, helping them to get funds through an application process. So we're working right now with our partners and with the community to help get the word out to musicians all over Austin, all genres, about the program and how, you apply. For the Creative Space program, that was an offshoot of council telling us and directing us to take our Creative Space Assistance Program, which we launched for last year for the first time after the ASAP program, which was focused on nonprofits. Last year, we first focused also on specific for-profits like live music venues and galleries and theaters. So this year, we were directed to take that program, that funding, add to it so that we could use it as a relief program for the effects of COVID, but to stay within the guidelines as best we can. And so what we've done is just try to expand those guidelines, to reflect the need caused by this pandemic and by what we've had to do in order to keep our residents safe here in Austin. And so, we worked very quickly and diligently because that was also one of the main things they wanted us to do was do this as quickly as possible. People are in need right now. And so we're just, happy that we were able to launch this. We have enough time to answer questions, to provide more clarifications on any of the application questions or what applicants need to do in order to prepare as best they possibly can. So that's what we're doing this week, and we're encouraging folks to go to our website at atxrecovers.com for information.
You mentioned the Austin Music Foundation and the third-party partners that you'll be working with to help with the program. Will the Austin Music Foundation help artists complete the application or provide them best practices? Can you tell us how they'll be involved?
Well, we have been working with the Austin Music Foundation from a workforce training perspective for musicians for some time now. And so this is a perfect fit for our existing relationship with them to assist because it is workforce training. Hey, they're helping folks with their bios and their resumes and things. Maybe, they've been working so much up to this point they hadn't updated in a long time, or maybe they didn't even need it. And so this is, but this is how we need to help document, who the musicians are in Austin. And so they're going to help answer any questions there that musicians may have of what's an appropriate resume or, how do I do this? So they can help with that.
And then as the other partner, the Music Cares program from the Recording Academy, is that correct?
Yes. So the Music Cares Foundation is our third party helping us with the turnkey process of the actual application process. Since we were directed to do this as quickly as possible, we interviewed several local music nonprofits here to see who had capacity here, not only with the right training and staffing to actually do this, but the time. And a lot of folks are just reacting as we all are to help serve their constituents and serve their mission and their constituents. And so no one had the capacity from a music nonprofit perspective here in Austin to get this done as quickly as we needed it to. And so with Music Cares, they already had they've been in existence now since I think 1983. They have been assisting musicians and music industry professionals with all kinds of support through an application process and a granting process. So they already had the folks in place to quickly turnkey this with us. I mean, we provided the guidelines, they're providing the back end, the application, and they're vetting all of that according to our guidelines. So it's been great to find these partners so that we can quickly and equitably prepare musicians for this opportunity, but then to do the process quickly so that we can get money into their pockets as quickly as we possibly can.
That's fantastic. I know the Central Texas musicians, City of Austin area musicians will appreciate the expediency that City Council and your Music and Entertainment Division office have baked into the program. Erica, can you tell us a little bit about the qualifications for the program and what artists and applicants will need to do to qualify?
Sure. So there's options. There's 3 different ways you can qualify as a professional musician in Austin. And that's either 2 years of some type of documentation of live shows, studio work, as a professional musician. And that could be documentation like, advertisements in local newspapers. It could be Facebook events. It could be, a letter from a band leader inviting you to play or scheduling out your shows. It's just documentation showing the work. It could even be a Google Calendar, because as we know, many musicians work in several bands and they have to keep up with, usually have a Google Calendar to keep up with all those gigs. And so we could even look at all of that and cross-reference that ourselves in terms of, yep, that's that. There's a Facebook event for that. And so we want to make it as easy as possible for professional musicians to provide the documentation that they need in order to show their qualification. And so we're going to be very lenient with that because, there is it's just showing that the work's been done. Either, you've got a way to show it online that has been promoted, or it could be that you have an email thread saying, hey, I need you on this studio recording next week. I need you for drums for 3 hours, and certain musicians have a lot of work just like that. So we will work with all of our musicians to be sure that they understand and that they get the right documentation uploaded.
Erica, could you please remind our listeners of the application deadlines?
Sure. Application is available to view right now at our website at atxrecovers.com so that applicants can preview the questions and the guidelines and get prepared. And then it opens the actual link, and we'll share the link that day on Monday, June 8th at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. That link will be live for folks then to go and then just copy paste, their application information into the application. We suggest just create a Word document, get all your answers ready so that you're copying and pasting your information. Where all your attachments are in order to upload those attachments, and you're ready to go. And also want to just be sure that, one of the questions we ask for is proof of, bank statements to show us that I have less than 2 months of living expenses available. And so we'll provide more information about how, applicants can show that. And we also want to be very clear that people understand that any musician can apply for this, even if you are no matter who you are in the band. If you are part of a band or if you're solo, you are eligible. It's not that a leader of the band needs to apply for their bandmates. Everyone has to apply as an individual musician. So we want to be sure that that's very clear, that everyone has an equal access to the opportunity.
If you're just tuning in, you're listening to an interview with City of Austin Music and Entertainment Division Manager, Erica Shamaly. This is Marc Fort with the Texas Music Office, and you are listening to Texas Music Office's Texas Music Mixtape. This is Marc Fort with the Texas Music Office, and we'll return to our interview with City of Austin Music and Entertainment Division Manager, Erica Shamaly. Erica, as you're speaking with City of Austin music business owners and artists, what are you hearing from them? Is everything that you're hearing kind of lining up with the need for assistance and the expedient need for a program like this?
Yeah, I think we're seeing a need, unfortunately, across every sector in Austin. Every small business, every individual has been impacted by this. How it affects the music industry, especially in the creative industry, is that so much depends on performance and bringing public assembly, bringing people together into a space to watch. And so that's why we were kind of the first to close, and we'll have to be the most careful about opening up to ensure that all audience members are safe, as well as the musicians and the employees and everyone that's involved with putting on a show and an experience. So, of course the need is huge, and this is the money that we have now. And I wish we had more because we assume the need is far greater than what we have available to us. But we're just trying to do the best we can to set up these applications so that you can really honestly reflect, the loss, from the revenue loss, but also the potential of how long it could go on based on the type of work that you do. So I wish we could do more. I wish we could go faster. I think, everyone has a different experience of how it's affecting them based on where they are, who their landlords are, what their particular situation is. And so it's hard to, serve every single individual while trying to serve everyone, but we're doing the best we can. And also trying to provide a resource through atxrecovers.com for, hey, if this opportunity isn't right for you, or if we run out of money before, we just didn't have enough money for everybody, we want to direct you to this next resource or to this, this next option. And so we understand that this is, just the beginning, of a long process, and that to please just, give us all that information so that we can keep you apprised of what is coming, in terms of additional support. I can't say what that is now because all of us, everything changes from week to week and so we're just trying to react as quickly as we can and deliver as quickly as we can. So, but just keep us, please, reach out. We have lots of contact numbers, not only for these two programs, but just go to atxrecovers.com, and let us know if there's something, if there are still questions, if there's something there that doesn't answer a question, we need to know.
And just so listeners don't get confused, I wanted to make it clear that these new programs are two brand new city council allocated funding programs. They are not to be confused with prior year City of Austin hotel and bed occupancy taxes and programs from that funding, or any other prior discussed City of Austin Music and Entertainment Division program funding.
Right. These are budget allocations that are one-time allocations for this purpose. The CSAP, of course, there was funding from the previous year that is, rolling over, but that it isn't just CARES money that is reflecting all of our relief efforts. There is also money coming from the city budget that is reflecting these efforts. And so, so that's how we're looking at it for this year. Live Music Fund and the hot taxes, those are not, that was a concerted decision by council, mayor, and stakeholders just to let that money, sit as the working group figures out best practices and guidelines for deploying that fund, hopefully, for starting next year. And so this is, money that we all had to, there's such a finite amount and there's so much need. And so this is part of that effort of, looking both at city resources and resources coming in from other places so that we can deploy relief efforts as quickly as we can.
Well, Erica, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to speak with the Texas Music Office today. It is no accident and no surprise that the City of Austin and your Music Entertainment Division was certified as one of the very first TMO music-friendly communities. This program that you're rolling out is a great example. It really shows how y'all are working so hard and so fast to help the music industry, the Central Texas music industry that is experiencing hardship because of COVID-19. And we just want to say that you're doing an incredible job. Keep up the great work, and we absolutely appreciate you.
Well, I just want to thank you, Marc, and to your listeners for having me. And please, again, I'll say it, atxrecovers.com. Reach out to us if you have any questions whatsoever about these two programs, and we will be happy to clarify anything we can. And I just want to thank you guys too. Texas Music Office done an amazing job of getting resources out there to everyone and, helping all of our cities in Texas to kind of stay in touch so that we can learn from each other. And I mean, we certainly are all in this together. And so I thank you. And I want to thank all the musicians and the creatives out there in Austin, and hang in there. You are loved. You are supported, and we're all working as quickly as we all can. Thank you.
Thank you, and you said it well. We absolutely are all in this together.